Welcome to New Earth Frequency, a space for awakening souls remembering who they truly are. We are living in the time of profound transformation, where hidden truths are surfacing and human consciousness is expanding. On this channel, we explore ascension, timeline healing, hidden knowledge, and spiritual sovereignty. I share insights, reflections, and teachings to support those who are awakening and reclaiming their creator consciousness. If you feel called to truth, awareness, and inner transformation, you're in the right place. Okay, so I really need to be honest about something here. When I started my healing journey, my life didn't suddenly feel lighter. It actually felt heavier. I was more emotional than ever. I was more overwhelmed. I was more frustrated, more fearful. And there were moments where I genuinely thought, I think I was better before. And I know that's not something people like to say out loud, but that's the truth. So welcome back, my beautiful friend. It's so good that you're here because I remember sitting alone on my couch for many, many, many nights. And everything just felt too much. Like nothing specific happened, but inside, it felt like something is constantly moving. Like waves I couldn't control. And I kept asking myself the same question, why does this feel like it's getting worse? Is this really what healing is supposed to feel like? Because the version I had in my head about healing, all these concepts and constructs and expectations and projections about healing, was peace. Being free, being happy, content, having everything you want, but not what I was experiencing. And what made it even worse and harder was I was doing everything, like every single thing you're supposed to do. I was reflecting constantly. I was journaling. I was doing nervous system work. I was doing inner parts work. I was doing energy work. I was doing shamanic work and family system and ancestral work. And I was doing past life work. I was trying to understand my patterns and the cycles and reversing my belief systems. Like learning, reading, going deeper and deeper into all of this. And it felt like I was putting so much into my healing, and instead of feeling lighter, I felt more. More emotions, more sensitivity, more awareness. And it was like the more I worked on myself, the more layers started to open up. Ta-da! Surprise! And there was also this pull inside of me to go deeper and even deeper and even deeper, to not stop on the surface, to really understand what's underneath all of that. But at the same time, I could feel what that really meant. You know, this also meant feeling more, seeing more, not being able to ignore things anymore, right? When you reach like a certain level of sensitivity, you just can't ignore anymore. It's just there, right? Take it or leave it. And suddenly, things that used to feel normal or familiar didn't anymore. Yeah, for example, being in crowded places, like loud environments, just with too many people, too many things going on, too much noise. I couldn't do it anymore. It became overwhelming for my system, for all my senses. I started noticing more energy, the way people feel, the tension in spaces. I mean, I had this ability before I awakened and, went on my healing journey, but I wasn't aware of it at the time. I thought going into these rooms, feeling all those things, wow, what is wrong with me? What can I fix? What can I hold? But no, it was all their wounds, their thoughts, their feelings, their unresolved issues. And it wasn't something I just could turn off again. It was just there. And I think that's a part like not really people prepare you for. Like, of course, we're all in this remembering game, right? But as you become aware, more conscious, of course, you also become more sensitive simultaneously, not just for yourself, but for everything around you. And honestly, that's tough, right? Everywhere you look, healing is shown as this calm and grounded and almost perfect state. You know, people talking about alignment and high vibration and inner peace and all of that, and that's great, and it's there, and it's for you and accessible, right? But I was sitting here like, why does mine feel like chaos? And the gap between what you think it should feel and what it actually feels like. And that's where a lot of doubt is coming in, right? There were moments where I really questioned everything. Not just the process, but myself. Because this is what it all comes down to. Well, when this is not happening, it must be because I'm doing something wrong, right? And it's always like this subtle, thought construct. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I opened something that I shouldn't have. Maybe I'm just becoming more unstable. Maybe there are still resonances in me I have to fix because seemingly it does not work what I'm doing. And that's a really scary place because, straight off the bat, you are like in a depressed mode. You lower your frequency. You get frustrated, of course, and it's all human. It's all good to, feel this and not suppress this. But yeah, it's because, you can't go back to who you were before. Like, you're in it now. Like, there's no turning back, right? You made a choice. We made a choice. So, yeah, but you feel, you just don't feel like you are becoming yet or returning to your essence or like that. You are locked in the timeline you should be and in the frequency you should be to get what you want, right? These feelings. Because it's not like the car, it's not like the house, it's not like the travel, it's not like the whatever it may be you're wishing for, it's the feeling that is connected to all of these things. It's actually the feeling we want to feel and embody day by day. This is what we are striving for. And at some point, I realized something. Nothing was actually getting worse. It was just no longer hidden. And I also realized, staying in that question, why is this the way it is right now? And why does it not change? And why can I not see what I have been working on in my physical reality? Was actually keeping me stuck. It's all about vibration and frequency, you guys. So I stopped approaching it from this place. And I don't say it's easy, and I don't say I have it all figured out. I'm still in the game, like it's you, right? Still trying to figure it out, how it works. And sometimes I fail, sometimes I'm good at it. It's the process. But I stopped seeing myself as a victim of the process. This is like the fundamental step we have to get out of, right? This victim energy. And I started just meeting it differently. Always seeing everything also from a soul's perspective and not resisting so much. As Eckhart Tolle always says, no resistance, no judgment, no attachment. Super easy, right? So, not questioning every feeling, not questioning every trigger, not portraying everything onto me that, is happening, but trying to understand it, trying to observe it, trying to every time reacting less emotionally to it. Because this is like the ultimate goal with the observation, being objective, to stay like neutral with everything that comes your way. And I started step by step accepting what was coming up. clearing what I could and really looking what all of this was trying to show me. And that shifted something. Not because everything became easy or everything became manifested in my physical reality, but because I wasn't fighting myself in it anymore. And what I felt wasn't random. It was things I have been carrying for a long, long time, even lifetimes, finally coming up. And it showed up in the smallest of moments, getting triggered by something insignificant and feeling way more than the situation even made sense of. Or feeling exhausted and drained and tired without a clear reason. Or wanting to withdraw from everything because it just felt too much input. And the hardest part was not understanding where it was coming from, right? In these early stages, you're just overwhelmed. And it wasn't just one emotion. We can deal with one emotion, most of us. It was layers, sadness that didn't have a clear story. Why am I crying at this moment in time? Felt fear because you're just driving your car. What's going on here? It wasn't really connected to the present moment. And I didn't have a clean, structured way to go about it. It just came in waves, like surges, right? Sometimes when I was alone, sometimes when I was in completely normal situations, when I was with others, didn't matter. And slowly I started noticing something else. I didn't feel like myself anymore, but not in a, new exciting kind of way. More like the version of me that always held everything together, that always controlled everything, that was always functioning, being perfect, always knew how to move through life, was just not there anymore. Poof, gone. And I didn't yet know who I was without all of this costume. And this is the part I wish someone told me earlier, but hey, here we go. It's all about the experience and growth and challenges and grow more, right? Healing doesn't feel like becoming a better version of yourself. And you shouldn't become a better version of yourself because you are inherently good. You are inherently light and love. It's just returning, like seeing it, remembering it was always there. And at first, all of this feels like losing this version that feels so familiar, right? That feels so familiar because we have been conditioned. The version that helped you to survive until this point, this moment in time. And if you are in this space right now, where everything feels more intense, when you're more emotional than you used to be, where you don't fully recognize yourself anymore, I feel you. I hear you. I see you. And I know how confusing that space can be because I was in it and I'm still in it. Because on the outside, your life might look the same. We are doing the same things maybe we did before. But on the inside, everything feels different. The way you process things, the way your body reacts, the way certain environments suddenly feel overwhelming, or certain people just don't feel aligned with you anymore. And that's why this part is so important. Healing isn't just about understanding yourself. It is about being witnessed in it, not fixing yourself, not rushing through it, but actually allowing yourself to be in what you're feeling without abandoning yourself, without ignoring yourself, without blaming yourself or guilting yourself. And all of this doesn't mean you're going backwards when that happens. It means you're finally feeling what you didn't have the capacity to feel before. And that's not a problem. That's the gift. That's the actual gift. Because your emotions, your body sensations, your intuition, your, sensitivities, your, extraterrestrial skills that come online, your sensitivity in environments with other people, that's all information. That's all truth. And for a long time, most of us learned to override all of that, to ignore what we feel, to question our instincts, to stay in situations that actually don't feel right, to manage our life from our brain. And when you start feeling again, when you actually start listening to your body again, everything shifts. Because you start to notice the difference between what is actually real and what feels off, between what's aligned and what is not, between truth and lie, and something just only looks good on the surface, and then trusting all of that, trusting yourself, because your body knows before your mind does, always. It's a subtle tension, it's a constriction, that sense that it just doesn't feel right, or the opposite, just feels calm and open and lovely, and clear to me. That's your inner guidance. It's all there. And the more you allow yourself to feel, with firstly removing all the strategies that don't make you feel, like all the numbness, disassociation strategies. But when you allow yourself to feel more, the clearer that inner guidance becomes. So this phase right now you're in, where everything feels more intense, it's also the phase where you are learning to trust yourself again on a completely different level. And I know we have this instinct where we want to fix it all, to calm it down, to make it go away, to get back to the normal feeling, right? But what really changed things for me was not trying to rush out of it. It was to learn how to staying with myself even when it's freaking uncomfortable. Getting to know my energy, loving all parts of me, especially our protective parts that we hate so much in the beginning because they seemingly block everything we want. And I'm not done with that. It takes time. But it's about not analyzing every emotion, not turning everything into a story, just being there with what is there. And I'm not saying this part is easy. It's not. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, it can feel really confusing and depressing and frustrating, but it's worth it. On the long run, it's worth it. So if something in this video resonated with you today, or if it just clicked, or you saw yourself in any part of what I just shared, I'd really like to hear from it. So just drop me a comment, just real, honest, raw you. Just let me know where you are in the process, what resonated with you today. And I'm reading every comment, I'm responding to every comment. And yeah, let's just stop pretending, right? This high vibe, vibrational thing. Yeah, we all have it, but right now we can be raw and real, and I really like to hear from you. And yeah, if you are new here and if you like what you just heard, please subscribe to my channel. That will really help spreading the message. And yeah, I hope you have a great week. I see you soon. Take care. Bye.